played for Joe Paterno.
Meeting like the myth, the legend kind of thing. You know what I mean? You have your Joe Paternos, your Bobby Bowdens, your Nick Sabans, Les Miles, those kind of guys. And when you see them in person, you're like, man, it's just like an aura that they have.
But runs down the floor, and then I think he either got a dunk or like an and one coming off maybe like a pick and roll or something. But it was awesome to see like how he's really maturing and completing it as a player.
Obviously doesn't have the accolades that Tom Brady does, but we're pretty much getting a Tom Brady, when he went to the Bucs. That's what's happening. We're getting a guy who's at the end of his career.
Attitude with ever. I mean, dude, we thought Big Ben was a diva. There is no one probably in this NFL world that you can think of that would probably match what Aaron Rodgers brings when it comes to being a diva.
You are listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast, a podcast by diehard fans for fans. Mark covers all things Penn State football and the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as anything related to the sports and fitness world. Tune in weekly to listen to a couple of dedicated fans talk about these topics without filters. Thank you for listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast.
All right, you heard it from Jared. Aaron Rodgers. There's no one, got to be no one bigger of a diva than Aaron Rodgers.
I can think of a couple. George Pickens, for example. Antonio Brown.
All I know is he could come in and help us win. I know that. So yeah. I want him here, but
yeah, how is he not signed with somebody
yet? It's kind of on him at this point. Like he is
being picky.
He just doesn't know what he wants to do, which is fine. I mean, I think a lot of people just need to leave him alone. Yeah. But
true.
All right. So just so everyone knows, a couple things here. I just made a Twitch account. So we are on Twitch right now. We are on
Rumble,
Instagram Live. We are on Rumble and YouTube. So I got a Elgato capture card. All right. So that means what I'm going to do now is, and eventually, Brett, you have live, right? On PS5.
I don't know.
I'm not PS5, right?
Yeah, I have PS5, but I'm not.
Do you play online?
Not really, no. More of an offline guy. Yeah.
All right. So you probably don't have live then, but with this capture card, I can play live and I can stream it on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. So I spoke about it in the past that I was going to be streaming like NCAA football. I have PGA 2K25. I have Grand Theft Auto. I have Black Ops. So whenever, I'm just going to get on here and stream me playing games, and you guys can hop on and watch it. It's just something I've always wanted to do, especially NCAA 25. Brett, you're going to have to get live because we should do a podcast dynasty on NCAA.
We got 26 coming up, so we can play that.
Exactly, yeah. So that's something that I was going to do, but I finally just got it. So keep an eye out for that, everybody. If you can, follow me on Twitch. That'd be cool. I don't know much about it. I just got it, and it seems like a pretty cool platform. So if you guys want to support me on there, I got one person watching. No, two or three people watching me on Twitch right now.
Nice.
So yeah, if you want to follow us on there, I don't know if you guys are on there, but I know that's a way that people can kind of make some money streaming and stuff. I know it's very
popular, yeah.
Yeah, it's what's saturated at this point. It's a very saturated market, but yeah, if you guys want to watch me do that, I mean, I'm not really a big gamer, but I do play games quite a bit. So if you want to watch me do that, then why not? Especially golf. Golf is one of my favorite things to play on PS5. So check that out.
If you're a big Tiger Woods fan, then you'll be a fan. So
yeah, Tiger is on that game. But you like kind of make a player and create your own career. It's cool. It's cool. So
I'm a Phil Mickelson guy myself. So different.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you like Phil?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a diehard Tiger fan, but I've never hated Phil. Tiger's so good that he didn't really have rivals, man.
Yeah. Phil was always an underdog, so I rooted for Phil. Yeah.
Phil, and I'm a golf guy, and I'm probably going to start talking about it on here some, but Brett, like Phil, he was always very talented, a very talented golfer.
Yep.
He won like all kinds of titles on the West Coast, California, in high school and stuff like that. You know, Tiger was not naturally gifted as a golfer. He had to really work for what he did. Talent wasn't really his natural talent was not his thing, which a lot of people would probably have no idea that that's true, but he was not naturally talented as a golfer. He really had to work at that. So Phil he was naturally talented. My favorite golfer now, probably DeChambeau, because big guy. I hit the ball. I don't drive it as far as him consistently. I've hit long drives are my thing, but he hits like 400-yard drives. Like that's insane. But some of his iron play and stuff, we have pretty similar yardages on that. But DeChambeau is probably my favorite guy, and he's a live guy. I like live. I do like live. So Brett, ESPN is now, we're going to talk some stories tonight, obviously, but ESPN is charging $30 a month now for their service. So starting in the fall, I believe, the new ESPN streaming service will be called ESPN, priced at $30 a month. A bundle with ESPN, Disney Plus, and Hulu will cost $35, but discounted to $30 for the first year, which is, I already have Hulu. So for someone like me, sounds like I already have it for free for the first year, and then.
Yep. I'm confused though, because are they announcing like if you want to just get it by itself with a couple extra things, but if you're buying cable with select packages and ESPN is in that, I don't think you're paying an extra $30. That wouldn't make sense. That's not what it's advertising sounding like, anyways.
All right. So everything that I've heard is, hold on, I'm just gonna pull it up. I first heard of this on Outkick, Clay Travis. Yeah, I'll just pull this up here. I'll have my guy Clay Travis explain it.
Welcome into Outkick the Show.
Sorry.
Light bundle. Didn't cost that much money. For around $100, you could sit down and you could watch pretty much any sporting event, whether it was on.
This will explain it.
This show for years and years.
Just for the
and
record,
one of the
Brett,
things that I got right,
I believe, no matter what, you have to pay $30 a month just to watch ESPN.
A decade ago,
which is crazy.
Which was considered at that time not a very smart take, I think, not a very popular take, was I said you and me and everybody out there don't realize how good we have it with a cable satellite bundle. Didn't cost that much money. For around $100, you could sit down and you could watch pretty much any sporting event, whether it was on ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, ESPN, FS1, NBC Sports Network, all of the ESPN2, TNT, TBS, whatever outlet you watched, whatever sport you watched, you could, and I'm an old man, I admit to this, for one friggin' remote control. This is my Comcast Xfinity remote. I still have Comcast here in the house. All you had to do was sit down, you flipped it on, and you could watch virtually every game, and it only cost you about $100 a month, roughly. And a lot of you out there, you started bragging. You're like, I'm going to cut the cord. I'm going to cut the cord. I'm going to be saving so much money. I don't even need cable. You still feel that way? Because now if you cut the cord, you probably still kind of wish you had cable, but now you got to pay for Netflix. You got to pay for Hulu. You got to pay for Peacock. You got to pay for Paramount. You got to pay for Amazon Prime, Apple TV. So many ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, so many different frigging apps, streaming apps out there that you're now, I bet a lot of you are paying more now than you ever paid for cable. And now comes the most expensive offering yet in the streaming universe. A little bit earlier today, it was announced that ESPN will be charging $29.99 a month for ESPN. That is the channel that you used to watch on cable television. Now you'll have to pay basically $30 a month for ESPN times 12 over Lucille, who never watched sports, at the top of your Twitter feeds. If you want to go vote in this right now, there's trouble. And if 98% of you, 35,000 of you voting are saying I'm not paying for this, where is the market? Who's out there like, I've got to have this? I just don't see it. Speaking of.
Yeah, so good breakdown there, Clay Travis. Basically, he's saying that he put up a poll. No one is going to pay for it. Obviously. Why would you do that?
Then you're completely lost as an individual and like a human being if you do pay for that. Because that's just, I'm sorry, but if I'm an SEC fan or a fan of a team that is going to be played on ESPN, I'm streaming it for free. I don't care. I'll announce that on live. Like, I don't. Yeah. Arrest me. Like, I don't like what? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not paying that, bro. And like I said, luckily Penn State, as of right now, we don't have to deal with that. We don't play on ESPN. We never will. As of right now, for a couple of years, we will not be playing on ESPN. So, for like certain championship games, maybe we might play on ESPN, but we'll figure it out once it gets to that. But an every Saturday gameplay, not going to happen on ESPN. So there is some sense of relief for Penn State fans, right? But for the industry as a whole, that's effed. That's effed. So.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, man, first of all, we were just talking about this. ESPN is trash.
It's garbage.
Its personalities, most of them are trash. It's gone super woke, super left. It's horrendous. They have people like Ryan Clark, Mina Kimes covering the NFL, for the love of God. Jamel Hill, who's one of the dumbest people on earth. Ryan Clark is too, but Stephen A. Smith, I mean, you can't take that guy seriously. And, you know, on this podcast, we speak frankly, man. It's trash. It's horrible. Sometimes, like, at night, I'll fall asleep with SportsCenter on.
Because it puts you
I'll wake up and I'll see, like, First Takes on, and I switch it real quick because I don't want to be a viewer. I don't want my viewership to count towards their show.
You know what? We should promote ESPN in that manner. Like, instead of taking melatonin, please watch ESPN. You will fall right asleep.
It's a new drug.
Perfect. That's perfect.
I mean, Molly Querum, whatever her name is on there.
Molly Querum.
Max Kellerman used to be on there. The freaking joke that he was. It's horrible, man. It's just turned into like this woke left. It's CNN sports. That's what it is. And we were also talking about how you didn't even know, but they had CNN Plus. It was like they put like $300 million into this thing. It lasted like a week because it was so bad. No one watched it. ESPN is trash. It's still trash. It's not going to change. And now they're charging you $30 a month for the trash network that's already not being watched. Clay Travis just did a poll. 35,000 people. 98% said they wouldn't pay for it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not paying for it. Even if Penn State was on just ESPN, I still wouldn't pay for it.
No.
I would just stream it illegally or whatever, however you do it. Just stream it.
Mm-hmm.
However, lots of people do that, man. But
yep.
Yeah, it's not something I'm doing. I'm not even going to consider that at all. No. So that's going to be an absolute train wreck of an idea. It's not good at all. And it's not going to last. Like, there's no way, man, that they're going to get this out and running and it's going to last. Like, by this time next year, this app, this ESPN charging $30 a month app, whatever it is, it's probably already going to be done. Like, it's not going to last, man.
Yeah.
And if you can pay month to month, the only time people are going to pay for it is during like football season. Majority of people. The NBA is not really watched. Really, the only main sports that are watched are football and college football. That's it.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's it, man. It's not going to work. There's no way on God's green earth that this is going to work. So, that's really all I have to say about that.
Yep.
But we'll get into some Penn State stories that Brett and I have shared back and forth. Real quick, the turnaround trailer just dropped. Is that the right one? Yeah, so they're coming out with this documentary called Turnaround. From when the scandal happened to now.
It's pretty cool.
The names, man, to write the history. This is it right here. It's where we write it. Think about the work, man. Penn State, big dog. Yeah. That's what we do.
Yeah,
will also be cut from 85 scholarship players to 65 for 4 years. And the sanctions will cancel 112 wins.
I watched Ohio.
Brett, you didn't go to Penn State.
No.
I just want to say this about Penn State Threads post a lot of good stuff. This particular event right here. Where's the music at? There was music on it. But this particular event that I'm about to point out, when the sanctions were announced, so there's this famous, I guess you could call it, they're in the hub. People are watching on the big TV in there. I knew that girl right there. This is the most famous one. Her name's Maria. I knew her too. We were all trainers together. So they announced the sanctions, and they had a camera there in the hub. I was back here in the back left. I was actually like planning to try out and walk on under Bill O'Brien. And I was standing back here with my backpack on. I had my cleats like tied to my bag because I was about to go do some workouts for my tryout. And I saw that and I was like, well, that changes a lot.
What position?
I knew after that, I was just trying to walk on. When I tried out for Joe, I was trying out for pretty much whatever. I played quarterback most of my life, but I switched to receiver and defensive back when I was in, like, I don't know, sophomore or something like that. But I was just trying to make the team. But yeah, Maria, because dude, this is on CBS, it was on ESPN. This was a huge video. It was all over the news. But I was wearing something like this. I was like right back there. Like I was right behind these people. And I just like walked away. I was like, man, that's crazy.
Devastating, I think is the word. Yeah, best.
Yeah, it was like I couldn't believe it. But anyway, they have the turnaround documentary coming out. That should be interesting. And if anybody out there is making a documentary about that stuff, let me know. I'll gladly do an interview because I was there when all that happened. I was talking to an Oklahoma fan today. He was in Oklahoma. I was talking to him. I told him that about Penn State because he's an Oklahoma fan. And I said, I was there when that happened. And he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe that I was there. And it was interesting to hear him talk about Penn State because he's like, man, you guys have so many good players that come out of that program. He said, I'm a Cowboys fan. You guys, Michael Parsons is a freak. He said, you guys have that number 11.
Yeah.
He spoke very highly of Penn State. But
that's cool.
All right, Brett. Penn State edge commit Daniel Jennings reclassifies 2025. So that's pretty cool. Very good news.
4-star. From the state of West Virginia, which so we do really good in Virginia, but think about it. It's not normal. We don't get that many players from West Virginia. It's just not a state that there's not that many highly recruited guys coming out of West Virginia. Most of them are going to be lower end that go to West Virginia, the college, or maybe Pittsburgh because it's not far. But not saying there's not good players in West Virginia, but just interesting. He's taken the Max Granville route, right? And that's the cool part. And there was he made a comment. It was on one of the Penn State pages about him coming early. He put on 20 pounds of muscle on this offseason. So
yeah,
he's like 6'2", 245 or something already. And he's like 17 years old or something like that. So pretty awesome, man. That's good news.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great, man. I mean, literally nothing bad about that at all. That's great news.
Graduated early, like, gotta be smart, right?
Yeah, that's phenomenal news. It's good to know that he'll be coming here early. Because, dude, if we look at our depth chart right now, I'll pull it up. So we got Granville. He's going to be seeing time. Yep. All right. So at D line, man, we're in good shape. We got
a lot of young guys, a lot of young talent.
Denai, which is he's a freak.
Yep.
Get off the screen. Jalen Harvey, one of my favorite guys.
Yep.
Anai White, who's now third string, which is kind of crazy. I hope he sees time. I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask Matt. He'll know. Darn it. It keeps jumping. Sorry, guys. Liam Andrews, one of those
defensive
highly
tackle.
touted.
Yes.
We lost the other guy that came with him. I forget his name.
Cunningham. Yeah.
Yeah. Zane Durant. Obviously.
Freak of nature.
Liam Andrews. Again.
Ty Blanding.
Jordan Mayer. Jordan Mayer's another guy. Gilliam, Alonzo Ford, Caleb Artis, Zariah Fisher, Max Granville, Malachi Williams. These are all guys that we've talked about. I mean, all these guys, Denai, Jalen, Anai, Liam, they're all going to see time, man.
And one of my favorite names, the true freshman, which I guess he was balling out in spring, it's pronounced Ivan Kamaju. That's a sick name, dude. Ivan Kamaju, coming off the edge, number 99. Mm-hmm. Pretty sick.
Yep. Then you got LeVar.
Yep.
They're at 4-string right now. Yeah, we're set, man. Like, we're in really good shape. And then the transfer guy who's not on the squad yet.
So we got Cortez Harris. He's actually, I think he just got here today. He just followed me on Instagram a couple minutes ago. Cortez Harris,
really?
edge rusher. Yep.
So, yeah, who followed you on Instagram?
Cortez Harris. He's a summer enrollee because you know how we got the early enrollees for freshmen?
Yeah.
Cortez Harris is one of the summer guys that we're waiting for. I think he got here today.
So someone followed you the other day, though. Was that him?
Well, no, that was who was it? Well, AJ Harris followed me, and then who was it? That was Khalil Taylor, the 5-star receiver from Pittsburgh area for 2027. Khalil Taylor.
Well, here's the thing. All right, you and I, we are pro Penn State. Ohio State fans, again, we're talking crap. I talked about it a little bit last night. The one guy, like, dude, they're so clueless. But you'll comment on stuff, and then these players will see you, and then they'll follow you, which is funny because you got followed the other day by someone, and then someone just followed you again. Like, these players followed. AJ Harris followed you. Like,
Davian Collins. Yep.
The center followed you.
Nick Dawkins, yep.
Yeah, so it's funny because you'll just be in the comments just roasting people.
Well, usually they'll follow me because I'll say something good about them. Like on a page, like this guy should be getting higher recognition. They'll see that, they'll be like respect, and then they'll follow me. But they can tell I'm a Penn State guy.
One of the first shirts I'm gonna have made is bring your shovels because we're just gonna bury you in the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one guy asked me if I was stupid or something like that, and I'm like, you just made my point, man, because what I was saying to him literally couldn't have been more clear.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other guy, he was making Sandusky jokes, and I was cooking this guy. Mm-hmm. And then my role is if you comment on my page about the scandal, I'm gonna block you.
Yep.
And he did that, and I'm like, darn it! Like, I want to keep cooking this guy.
And then the whole state of Ohio weeping over noon games. They do play a lot of noon games, but the fact that you're like putting in like complain about, like, it's just funny, man. Like, you guys are crying over anything you could possibly cry over.
Well, what's wild is I said this on the Daily Show yesterday. I said, listen, I give you guys credit. Like, you guys are dedicated to your football, and that goes all the way to, like, your legislature and all that stuff. Like, your government, you guys are crazy about the Buckeyes. Like, I give you credit. I respect Ohio State. I don't like them. I respect Ohio State, the program. Not all their fans are bad. I've never personally met an Ohio State fan that was mean or anything like that, but a lot of the people that comment are absolute morons, and they talk crap on Penn State.
They start the drama.
Won a national title, always beat us, and they still talk crap. They said they have higher attendance than us, even though that's literally factually not even
It's
possible.
like, because we're ride or die fans for our team, and we're like hype about our off season and everything. Like, we're allowed to be hype and positive about it. If we're not, then what are we doing here? For one, for two, I'm not going to be negative about my team, especially this year with what we have coming back. So just respect your lane, stay in your lane. Or if you do come into my lane, I'm gonna say some shit back. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna put up with the disrespect and the just ridiculous comments, like you said, about Sandusky and all this garbage from 15 years ago or 10, 15 years ago, man. Like that's not relevant to what Penn State is. That was never what Penn State was. That happens everywhere. That just happened to be a big thing that happened at Penn State at that time. Like it happens all over the country, man. Like,
yeah, like we are hype about our team in the offseason. And a lot of these fans, like the ones we've been talking to recently, which I rarely entertain it, but sometimes I'm just going to do this for fun because I'm always going to bury them. But you can tell that these fans, they're not actual Ohio State fans. They're like they're like bandwagon fans. They don't know much about the program. They watched ESPN in 2011, so they know there's a scandal at Penn State. Like, they know nothing. They're not even real fans. Because diehard Ohio State fans, they're not disrespectful. We've had diehard Ohio State fans on this show. They are not disrespectful at all. And to be honest, between the two teams, Ohio State fans are nicer than Michigan fans. Michigan fans are pretty ruthless too, but Ohio State fans, they won a national title. But anyway.
That's what it is. Whoever wins the Natty, either one of them, that's who's the worst fan base at that time.
Yeah.
When Michigan won, you couldn't listen to them talk ever. It was just awful.
Well, Ohio State fans now, they're like the Chiefs fans. A lot of the Chiefs fans are not actual Chiefs fans. They're just on the bandwagon right now. But yeah, this guy's name was Seth.A. Boner, Bogner. Boner, I don't know. But he was making a lot of Sandusky jokes, and I just said, keep them coming, man. Like, and he wasn't spelling. I said, you're putting that Ohio State education to work. And, bro, this guy is saying, like, this vulgar stuff. He's got pictures of 3 kids as his profile picture. I'm like, dude, you have your pictures of your kids as your profile picture, and you're saying this on
Go make dinner for your family. Go feed your family.
Yeah, and he goes, that's my siblings. I'm like, oh, well, that makes it better. It's like 3 young girls, bro. He's like, they're my siblings. I'm like, oh, well, my bad. My bad. I don't know what I was thinking. Huh?
It's like you're full of crap as a human then to have your profile pic like that and then talk like that. You don't have any integrity. That's what you're showing us. So,
and then this Tyler Riley said that that 80% of the Big Ten teams beat Penn State and dominate Penn State.
That's hilarious.
I said, dude, what are you talking about?
15% or whatever. I mean, there's so many teams in the Big Ten now. Out of all the newcomers, we only lost to Oregon, and that was in the Big Ten championship.
He told you to cope that Ohio State is better than Penn State. I mean, just you guys are freaking nuts, man. Like, when you guys comment to us, though, you don't know who you're messing with. I'll tell you that. All right. What will Penn State's record be this year? That's just like someone walked by a can of gasoline, threw a match, and ran. That's what they did with this post. I said 16-0. I'm surprised no one's commented back on that.
I was very cautious on it. I said 11-1 just because you never know. I'd be okay with it, but that's what I said. Because even if we go,
I'll say 12-0.
Huh?
I think 12-0.
Yeah, but like worst case scenario, if we go 11-1, because I think that's worst case for what we have, 11-1. Like,
who we gonna lose to?
Huh?
Who we gonna lose to?
Ohio State on the road if we do lose. I don't see us losing to Oregon at home. It's not happening, dude.
Well, Ohio State, here's the thing. Like, we don't know what their team is. Just because historically we always shit the bed.
Yeah, but I think we can
might lose to Ohio State. But, like, bro, they're not going to be that good, man. Like, Texas is going to beat them in week 1 for sure.
Oh, yeah. We'll win by 2
And I think is it at Ohio State? Yeah.
For sure.
That's where the law comes in. It should be a neutral site. That's but it's Ohio State. So 10-2, someone said. One of the losses to Villanova. What?
Oh, people do that to troll. They'll say lost to Villanova and FIU. Dude, I'm actually kind of
brain surgery.
When's the last time we played Nevada for real? Like, have we ever played Nevada? Ever?
This guy said 8-4.
I know. I said, dude, you need brain surgery. That's what I said.
Like,
I need brain surgery.
Like at worst, maybe 3 losses at worst.
And what? First off, why did he spell out 8-4? Like who? He spelled it out 8-4. That's that.
Technically,
that's
well, so numbers 1 through 9 you're supposed to spell, but I think when you're writing a record like that, you're supposed
when you're
to
writing
write
a record, you do numbers.
Yeah.
Who's ever wrote it like that? That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you doing? What planet?
Another
are
thing
you?
Another thing I'll do with these people that are trolling is I'll correct their grammar. Bro, okay, here's the thing. A lot of these YouTube guys, people say you're not a journalist. You're not legit. Even though that's ridiculous. A lot of people that report and do stuff didn't go to college.
Mprez X, I've actually talked to him. That's actually a solid comment. Winning football games doesn't equal sucking. Not elite, but y'all blow that weight out of proportion. That's a fact. Like the way that people do it with us, man, they hate on us so hard. Like they hate on us for everything. They hate on Penn State for any reason, man.
I don't really get it, but
there's so much hate. It's so forced. It's so forced, but like it's so effortless at the same time, on how everybody just does the same. It's just, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just
yeah.
Like I don't like force hate on Ohio State. If somebody posts like they're crying about noon games, I'm gonna comment on it, but I don't like post.
Yeah, like
stuff.
dude,
Like,
here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. All right, it's Ohio State, so obviously, it's like, my God, like really, but it's Ohio. It's the Ohio State law. It's the state of Ohio law. All right, noon games suck. All right, these big time noon games, it's stupid. So if Ohio changes their laws to where you're fined $10 million if you do it, which to most networks that's probably not a lot of money, but it could change it to where it's like, dude, we're sick of this. Stop having these big time games at noon. That is one of the worst things that's ever happened to college football. It used to be Penn State, Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, Penn State. The whiteout game was always at night.
Yep.
It was they had a primetime game every Saturday night. You looked forward to it.
Well, the problem isn't the whiteout game not being at night now. It's who we have to play it against because of this.
Dude, I remember in 2006, exactly. I remember in 2006 watching Megatron, Georgia Tech, play like Clemson. It was a primetime game. Why? Because they had one of the best receivers of all time playing for Georgia Tech at the time, number 21. Like Penn State, Michigan, 2006. That was primetime game, whiteout.
Yep.
Penn State, Ohio State, 2007, primetime whiteout. Penn State, Illinois, 2008, primetime whiteout. Penn State, Iowa, 2009, primetime whiteout. It's always the night primetime game was on ESPN. If you have to go to ESPN to do that again, do it. But you should have, and it's a voting, it's all this stuff. But the biggest game should be at night, especially the whiteout. Like Josh Pate said, it should be illegal to not let Penn State pick the whiteout game when they want to have it and it be at night. It should be illegal to not allow that. That is horrendous.
It should be a law. Yeah.
All right, so
and I'm okay. I'm okay with good games being at noon, but the elite games, no. Like if there's good games, right? Like, oh, this should be a good matchup. Whenever you see something like that, like let's say, well, not right now, but like Wisconsin against Nebraska, like that could be a noon kickoff game because that's a Midwest like rivalry type game. You know what I mean? Like that could be at noon, but like, or Michigan, USC, like now, like that would be a good noon kickoff game because that's not like an elite game yet because USC has struggled to be an elite team. And Michigan's in the dumps right now. Like they're rebuilding. They went through their scandal. They're still getting punished for it. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like, good games at noon, I'm fine with. But Penn State, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, 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 Ohio State always play at noon for some reason. So I don't know why they're complaining. It's always been that way for the most, like, in the last 5-6 years. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
So going through our schedule here, record-wise, what do you guys think? Like, Brett, can you go through?
I think we're going 12-0. I put 11-1 on there just because it was a cautious, like, worst case scenario thing. But for regular season, let's see, Nevada, we'll take our backups. We'll put our backups in the second half. FIU, same thing. Villanova, same thing. Oregon, I think Oregon will be good later in the season, right? Because Oregon has good pieces, but they're breaking a new quarterback, Dante Moore. He's highly talented, and he got to learn from Dylan Gabriel. So, like, he probably was coached up and everything with Dan Lanning. But the thing about Oregon, man, is they're replacing 3 or 4 offensive linemen. You know how many Penn State's replacing? One offensive lineman. So that's offensive line play. It takes a while to get good. Remember Penn State last year? Our offensive line was okay. Like, it was okay. And then at the end of the year, elite offensive line play. When you're bringing back the same package as we are, like, except for the one guy, our offensive line is going to be ready to go from the gate. They should be anyways. Like, if they're not, then something else is going on. But I think Oregon, if we played Oregon later in the year, I think it'd be a close game. Not that this game can't be close. I got us beating Oregon week 5? Week 4?
That's actually week 5, yeah.
Week 5. I got us beating Oregon 10 to 14 points. We should beat them, right? Like, we should. We should beat Oregon double digits. Like, I don't care if it's 10 points, 12, 14. We should beat Oregon by 2 scores at least. And then UCLA, that's tricky going out there. We got to fly out to Cali. So last year, you saw what happened in the first half against USC. We struggled, but then we got on the ball. But UCLA, they got some good transfer portal guys. They got Nico. He's a solid quarterback. I think he will make the team better. But I got us beating UCLA and Cali by 10 to 14 as well, maybe. I wouldn't put it any more than that because that's a hard travel. You know what I mean? If we can win by 10 points at UCLA, I don't care if we win by 2 points. But I think we win by 10. Northwestern, they're just bad. Northwestern, they fired their coach, right? They have a new coach now.
Yeah.
I think. So they're going through some stuff. They picked up a couple decent players in the portal, but is that at home?
What's that?
Northwestern's at home? Yeah, we'll beat Northwestern by 20 probably.
Yeah.
And then at Iowa, because it's at Iowa, it's a scary place to play. They're bringing in, you know who they brought in for quarterback, right?
Iowa
brought in FCS quarterback from, you know how South Dakota State, North Dakota State, you know how those teams are really good in the FCS?
Yeah.
They brought in, I think, South Dakota State's quarterback. He's a veteran. That's probably going to be the best quarterback Iowa's had in years just because he has a lot of experience. So he hasn't played in FBS, but some of those South Dakota teams, man, can beat some FBS teams. Look what they did with Oregon last year. Was one of the South Dakota teams?
Yeah.
That played Oregon really hard, or it was Idaho, but same idea.
The thing for me is no win is easy. Bowling Green gave us a run. James Franklin has always been good at winning games he's supposed to win.
Yep.
His record against the spread, it was kind of hurt a little bit this year, but his percentage against the spread is unreal. In games he's favored in, which is not easy, man. That is not easy.
No.
Nevada win, FIU win, Villanova win, bye. Oregon should be the whiteout, I guess.
Yeah.
Which sucks because, yeah, it'll be the whiteout, Oregon.
No, it's the best option for a whiteout. Yep.
At UCLA, Nico.
Yep.
I think against our secondary, new system, new team, I think he's gonna be throwing some interceptions against our secondary. W, so 5-0, 6-0.
We're beating Iowa.
Iowa that's a sleeper game. We
Yeah.
always have one. Like Minnesota last year, but we'll beat Iowa. At Ohio State, I think we can beat Ohio State. I think so that's our no. Yeah, so we have a bye after Iowa. So we have a bye before our two biggest games, which is great. But again, like last year didn't.
Which sounds great, but sometimes after buys we're not great. So
dude, it's crazy, man. Like I wish sometimes that didn't happen because it doesn't ever work for us. But
no.
Indiana W, Michigan State W, Nebraska, another tough game.
Well, Indiana's gonna be good too. So I mean, like
Rutgers.
Decent.
We don't play Illinois. They're like number 10 this year.
My favorite game, low key game, is Nebraska, dude. When's the last time we played them? 6 years ago? Right? It's been a long time, dude. Think about it. 2019, maybe? Did we play them? No, we played Wisconsin. Let me look that up.
I don't know, man. I know we lost to them in 2011 when right after the scandal happened, crushed our dreams.
I'm looking it up. But yeah, that's why this new scheduling is good because we never play Nebraska, man, and it's annoying.
Well, what's kind of crazy is
it was
they always play like Colorado and stuff like that.
2020 is the last time we played Nebraska.
Yeah.
And
in 2011, they
won.
kind of crushed our Rose Bowl hopes because we were like one loss team going into that Nebraska game. That was after the scandal happened. But yeah,
5 years
again,
ago.
Matt Roll was supposed to be the head coach of Penn State from State College, Nebraska guy.
Yeah.
If there's one team in the country that I root for, obviously Penn State's number one. But on the side, I kind of root for Nebraska because of Matt Roll. And then at Rutgers, Brett and I can play quarterback or running back. We'll still win. So
yeah, we could trout out there and put up 30 on Rutgers.
We could literally put out take all of our freshmen, and still beat them by probably 40 points.
But hey, Patty Mahomes' little brother, Dylan Raiola, coming to Beaver Stadium. He's going to get shook. He's going to be better this year. I think he'll be good, but he's got all the talent.
Yeah. I wish him the best.
I just don't like how he's acting like Patty, man.
Yeah.
I don't like Patrick Mahomes to begin with, so you acting like him makes me not like you.
Pat Mahomes has his haircut. Drew Aller has that haircut.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Raiola has that haircut, but Dylan Raiola, he's I think he's more of a Pat Mahomes than Dylan Raiola is. But Dylan Raiola literally acts like he's Pat Mahomes.
No, he literally acts like him, and Drew acts like himself. So
yeah,
I'm gonna pick Drew any day over Mr. Dylan. Yeah.
All right, Jeremiah Smith. College football's top 20 offensive players headed in 2025.
Yeah, they got Drew at 8. That's respectable.
But
they got Singleton too at 19 or 18 maybe.
But that top 10 at each position, Drew was like 2, Katron and Nick were 3 and 4. Where was that other post? You sent me it. I sent you Matt's post where Singleton's like a hologram.
Yeah.
Off-season champs are Penn State, according to several different outlets. But anyway, Penn State players are up there in the top 10.
Yeah.
Kobe Howard's killing it.
Kobe Howard, dude, this spring practice stuff was crazy. Check this one out. Breaks him. Boom. Boom. He went deep on this one.
Yeah, this guy said A. Rodriguez says he doesn't play freshman receivers, which he needs to just play whoever, man.
Well, and he said I said, well, good thing. I commented, I said, good thing that Kobe Howard can block. There's video evidence that Kobe Howard is a strong blocker because he's strong, dude. I mean, he's a strong freshman. Look at him.
Almost hits the coach.
This route right here, boom. It's fresh.
Yeah, and that's against a decent corner too. But yeah, Brett, you know, the noon thing, we talked about that. Pretty crazy. Let's try not to cry challenge impossible.
Yeah.
Bro, Ohio State fans, they probably got like hitmen coming after you, man, after all of those comments.
Hey, I just kept going. I'll troll when it comes to it. I'll troll back, man. Like I don't.
Yeah, and then send it to me, and then I'll just back you up.
Because they'll always bring up stuff that's irrelevant to the post, and then I'll just completely keep going. Like that's what they do. Dude, look at this. I just sent this to you. Look at AJ Harris's footwork, man. He's insane. Like, just look at him right here. Boom, boom.
I really hope he has a year, man, and he's a first-round pick.
Dude, look at his feet. Crazy.
He'll be the first-round pick for the first defensive back, first-rounder.
He's going to be, yeah. Because look, listen, he was a sophomore last year. You barely, unless he was tackling a player, which he was always tackling people. People barely threw his way, man, because he's locked down. He locks them down. Look at that. He just.
And what he does, man, like, it's not easy. I played corner when I was younger. I moved to safety when I was like older, but
it's one of the hardest positions to play.
Playing corner, like, dude, it's all hips, it's all footwork. Yeah. He's doing a T-step. Like, that's pretty much a T-step, what he's doing there. Dion said it looks stupid. T-step is way better than what Dion does. Because Dion is Dion.
Yeah. He has elite hip and footwork on that, dude. We can talk Davion Brown. They call him Davion Fat Rat Brown. So we got Fat Man, now we got Fat Rat.
Where is that post? You sent it to me, right?
Yeah, so I sent it to you. I can send it again.
Oh.
Got it. From Virginia, from Richmond, Virginia. We're killing Virginia right now, man. We're taking Davion Fat Rat. Fat Rat. That's sick.
Yo, did you see that one picture of the ESPN NFL shared it? It's Sean Payton's daughter in a picture with one of their draft picks. And it says, someone's daughter likes our second round pick. And it's like, Sean Payton, what do you think people are going to do with that, honestly?
Yeah,
your daughter with a football player. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, man, that's...
But the internet just went hard on that, bro. Like, obviously.
Yeah.
It's like, I wouldn't have even known you had a daughter if you didn't post that, Sean Payton.
Yeah. But real quick, Davion Brown, though, he's like 6'1", 6'2"-ish. He's already 200 pounds, man. He's already 200, and he has a whole year left. So he's already a college size, which is nice.
Yeah.
Just like what we got in 2025 with well, not Lear Samuel, but what's his name? Jeffrey Exeter. Like, he's a big body guy, right? Jeffrey Exeter.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Penn State thinks that their rivals are Ohio State, and Ohio State just doesn't really see it that way.
Roseman
had 105 likes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Will, no one ever had ever
he
said
is mad.
that.
He announced that he was mad, but before he played us. That's why I said it. He said,
I mean, it's a rivalry, dude. Like,
yeah.
Like, we're rivals with Rutgers. We don't see it that way, but we are rivals with them. I mean,
same with
it's just
Pittsburgh.
a fact. And that's totally different from Ohio State. We don't get dominated by Ohio State like we do Rutgers, but yeah, it's a rivalry. Will Howard, Timu, Peyton Manning. I mean, it is what it is.
That's great.
He's on my team now, but
that's great. What else do we have? We went through most of it, didn't we?
Antonio Brown shot a gun last night.
Did he?
Yeah. Got arrested, but he was later let go or let out of custody. This Heather girl posted this.
Yeah.
It marks 100 days until the start of the college football season, and ESPN.com is celebrating this unofficial holiday with 10 lists of 10 for you. That's 100 things to make you smarter about what's coming in 2025. My list.
They'll have the 99 days down to 1 now on Facebook.
Yeah.
Number
10 included the top 10 teams that I think can get a first round bye in the college football playoff this year by winning their conference. So I gave Texas the number 1 seed as the projected SEC champs. Penn State got the number 2 seed as the projected Big Ten champs. Clemson with the number 3 seed as the ACC champ. And look out, Iowa State winning the Big 12. And these are your projected 4 highest ranked conference champions. Wait, where's Ohio State? Georgia? Disagree? Leave me a note in the comments.
Listen, the hardest one to pick every year right now is the Big 12, man. Because it's so close. You have no idea what's going to happen. I wouldn't have picked Iowa State, but, I mean, they could surprise some people. They were decent last year. But Clemson –
she's one of the few ESPN people that actually knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, I like Heather. And she's a Pennsylvania girl. She's from PA. So –
she always keeps it real, man.
Yep.
Always keeps it real. But it's always hard to pick, man. I mean, this is, again, like you're throwing meat in a freaking in a lion's cage with this type of post.
Yep.
Like Clemson, I guess, yeah.
They bring back everybody, man. Cade Klubnik took strides last year. They got Tom Allen. That's an upgrade from what they had. So, I mean, they're going to be good. And the ACC is not it's not hard to be good. So, why wouldn't they win, right? I mean, the ACC is pretty weak.
What? So. Texas, Georgia. So, the SEC doesn't get in the top 4, according to her, which that makes sense.
No, Texas
honestly.
Is SEC.
Yeah, true. So,
used to be a Big 12, but.
So. But that's the thing, like the top 4 was Texas Big 12 last year? Were they SEC?
Georgia won their conference title, right? Georgia and Texas played, right? And it was Texas or Georgia. I don't know why I'm blanking on it. For the SEC last year. And then
all right. Oregon. Okay, Georgia was 1. Boise State was 2.
Yeah. That's where they screwed up, putting Boise at 2.
Well, yeah. I mean,
so stupid, man.
It's an absolute joke. But Georgia was 1, SEC, Boise State, MAC or whatever. Arizona State, Big 12, right?
Arizona State. And they're going to be good this year, too. So
Texas 4.
Yeah.
But the seeding was where it was kind of weird.
Super weird. But don't you have more respect for Arizona State after what they did with Texas, man?
Yeah.
They earn my respect. Like they almost had Texas on the rope. They had them on the ropes. So
the final top 4 was Big 10 champ, Big 12 champ, SEC champ, and then the highest, the best conference champ, which was the MAC. But what she's saying is it's going to be SEC with Texas, Big 10 Penn State, ACC Clemson, and then the Big 12 with Iowa State. So the SEC, you know, what you think of the original SEC is not even in. So that's because
they're going to tear each other apart like they did last year.
Yeah, it's the 4 highest ranking conference champs. That's what it is. So she's saying that Iowa State and Clemson will be better than any other SEC team other than Texas. So Notre Dame
necessarily saying they'll be better, but because of the way the format is, the ACC does deserve to get over the Mountain West, where Boise State came out. Mountain West, I think. Yeah, they deserve it over. The ACC should always be above Mountain West if there's somebody who deserves it. Last year, they all had enough losses, I think, that it didn't matter. But this year, Clemson shouldn't lose 2 or 3 games like they did last year. You know what I mean? They shouldn't.
So yeah. So it's going to be the 4 highest champions, 4 highest ranking conference champions. So she's saying Texas is going to win the Big 10. She's saying Penn State's going to win. She's saying Texas is going to win the SEC, which is crazy, believable. Penn State will be the Big 10 champs. We'll see. ACC will be there. Yeah, obviously they'll probably be top 4. And then Iowa State, Big 12. I mean, that's kind of crazy, man, because then you're going to have like probably Georgia, maybe Alabama. You're going to have Ohio State, maybe Michigan, maybe Notre Dame. Like, those are teams that are all going to be right on their heels. And I hope to God they change the format, man, because if we get the 1 seed, that's really going to suck, because then you get the hardest schedule pretty much. And then number 2, they get an easier schedule. But the way it's structured, man, like, it should just be 1 versus 12, 2 versus 11, 3 versus 10. Like, it's
at the same time, it depends what teams get in too. So we'll know what these teams look like at the end. This past season, it was unfair, but hopefully it plays out a little better than last year, because then it'll be closer games, because there were a couple close games, but there were a couple blowouts too. So
yeah,
like Ohio State Oregon was a massacre. I mean, that was just Oregon masterclass on that one. That was bad. They got destroyed by Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. That was the most boring. Like, I couldn't even watch that game, dude. It was that bad. They were up 30-something to 0, like, at some point. Like, that's bad, man.
Yeah. Well, Ohio State, they just started fast against Oregon. That's literally all that happened. Like, they were
playing perfect ball. Like, just, it's hard to play like that, man. And they played.
Yeah, they just came out firing, and Oregon wasn't ready for it. I don't know why Oregon did that. Like, they just. Like I said, Texas, Oregon, and Tennessee, they all let America down. No one wanted Ohio State to win the national title. No one.
Nope.
If you wanted Ohio State to win the national title, you're like not American. to say the least. But all right, guys. I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
It's pretty much all we got. Again, follow me on Twitch. I'm going to be gaming on there, and follow me on all platforms, YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, Cost22. That's right.
Yep.
Cost22. It's good to see you, buddy. You need to come on more often. Cost knows that America was let down by those 3 teams.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Put your comments below after we get off here, and we will see you next time. You guys have a good week.
Yep, have a good weekend, guys. We are Penn State.